Welcome to Banana Bread Trades. Here we talk about trading futures. Shit post on Discord, post dank memes, and most importantly, eat banana bread and make money.
Welcome everyone to Banana Bread Trades. It's your host Goose. We're here to talk about our Friday recap as well as, our Monday trade plan. And yeah, let's get right into it. Friday, not a whole lot happened. We had a plan to get long, around a retest of 52.20, and honestly, nothing happened all day. We went and we spiked 52.50, and then pulled back. We didn't hold, so we didn't get long. This all kind of happened pre-market overnight. Had no limits set. And then most of regular trading hours, we just kind of chopped around. We didn't go too much either direction to really give us a trade on ES. We didn't go low enough to get any of our long zones that we had. We talked about 52.30. We needed under 52.30 to tag along. And, in that 52.20 to 52.30 area, somewhere in there, we were looking for a retest of, some zones and some reclamations. Then we would take along up to 52.50 and then upwards and onwards. However, we just never got there. And like I said, we came up above 52.50. This was all pre-market. So we didn't catch any of this. Then open happens. We spike up, spike down. But as I said, I want to see a reclamation of a zone. Whereas you could kind of count this as a reclamation of a zone. But, just on the retest, it wasn't pretty. Nothing really was great, so we didn't touch it. There was nothing really to long here. We talked about this pre-market. I even woke up a little late, and I looked at it and was like, I don't like it. So we didn't take the 52.50 long. It wasn't a great reclamation. There wasn't great support. We didn't see a lot of buying, so no longs there. We waited, and like we said, the zone below was 52.30. We needed under that to get long. Never got under that. We just chopped around our POC for the day, basically. So pretty gross. Nothing fantastic. However, we did catch a long on NQ, and I said on Twitter, pre-market, if we don't get 52.30 and 52.50 doesn't hold, we'll look for maybe scalping around on NQ, and that's exactly what we did. NQ actually had a really good rocket scooter map. So what I did is I just played longs at the bottom of the bull zone on the rocket scooter map. This is a very typical play here. We have this very clear buy zone. We took some shots at trying to break below several times. It didn't want to break below, so we kept stabbing longs. I stabbed probably 4 or 5 longs by the end of the day. We had a long here, a long here, a long here, and then we caught one more runner. We actually had one more long later in the day. I forgot to screenshot it, but yeah, we had quite a few longs. I think that's 1, 2, 3. So we had 4 longs on the day, and the last long at the end of the day, it was about like this. We got 15, 20 points on our core, and our runner died at break even. Because of the way the setup is, that's a great setup to hold long runners. Everything. It's a golden bull long up. I have this in the Discord. I have an entire channel dedicated to this exact setup. This is what I like to look for. We test the bottom of these bull zones, and we usually run on the day. So my whole plan on those setups is, hey, we're going to get long. We're going to take our core off quick, and then we're just going to hold runners and see what happens. However, the runner just never happens. So that's okay. That happens sometimes. We still were getting our core off. That's why we take our core off early and let those runners run. So yeah, pretty easy base hit day for us on Friday. We didn't make anything crazy. We were just trading really light, scalping around on NQ just because that map was really good. And then, like I said, ES just didn't give us anything really great to play with. And that's okay. We had a great last 2 weeks on ES. It's okay to have a consolidation day where we kind of build some structure. And that's what we talked about on Thursday night. We need to build some structure to give us a better trade plan. Now, going forward, as far as NQ goes, I don't have a great forward going trade plan on NQ. I like to just kind of wait for Rocket Scooter on those ones because NQ is a very scalpable, bouncy type of ticker to play with. Whereas ES, you can really look forward and, you know, project these zones and have a more concrete trade plan of zones that are actually well respected. So with ES, our plan pretty much stays the same. I'm honestly looking for Monday to be probably another big consolidation day, much like we had here. I would say we probably stay in the 52.50 to 52.30 range. And that's what I'll be playing. I don't expect a big sell-off. I will still be getting long. If we break under 52.30 and hold 52.20, I will be looking for longs to 52.50 and upward. Like I said, 52.50 is going to be where we're taking profit on any longs and holding just a few runners to see if we run or not. Not really expecting us to, but that's pretty much my plan for tomorrow. And if we go ahead and just chug on up there without me, that's completely okay. If we get above 52.50 and legitimately, you know, get above, reclaim it, hold, then maybe I'll look at maybe stabbing some really light longs and holding those. But I just don't feel like we're going to have the volume tomorrow to really run anywhere. And the reason why is because Tuesday we have PPI, which is going to be a very volatile news release. Then Wednesday, we have CPI, which is going to be the most volatile news release. And then Thursday, we have jobless claims. So 3 of our biggest inflationary indicators are happening back to back to back this week, all of them pre-market. So for me, I'm expecting more so tomorrow be a really good consolidation day, fill out some structure here, maybe build us a nice, you know, a nice, good volume node. Let's switch over here to the 2-hour chart so we can show you. I mean, this is the prior POC of this move down. So I'm expecting us to kind of just fill this volume here, right? We have a bit of a volume gap. Fill this volume here, hang out, chill out all day tomorrow. And then depending on how these releases go between Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, I feel like that's really going to set us up for whatever, you know, our entire next month of trading is going to look like until the next FOMC. Because in the last meeting, we talked about how the numbers weren't great. I mean, if you watched the last meeting, Jay Powell comes out right off the rip and says, inflation numbers do not look great and our plan is unclear. That was his first thing he said in the FOMC meeting, which immediately I was like, oh my gosh, that is a horrible thing to say. But then he went ahead and really clarified a lot of things and was very, very, you know, positive and dovish on his thoughts about inflation, whereas the numbers haven't been great, but we are confident. And he said this specifically, they're not going to raise rates, which was a huge talking point of, are we going to have to get more aggressive in tackling inflation? Where he said, we're not going to get more aggressive. We're just going to leave things where they are until, you know, things kind of get under control. He's saying is, we've been restrictive enough. We don't need to raise rates and be more aggressive. Things will come, but it just might take longer at this point than we thought, where it's kind of flattened out. You know, the rate of inflation changing is really flattened out. It's just not quite to their target yet, but they don't want to get more aggressive and kind of overshoot their target in a way. So that's kind of their lean on it. And it really, these next set of numbers, unless they come in really, really bad or exceptionally good, maybe doesn't give us any real clear insight. And we maybe have a choppy month here. But yeah, so it's I don't have any clear bias on what these numbers are going to be. The last numbers missed by quite a bit. I mean, we missed across the board just enough to where it was almost concerning. Like nothing nothing terrible, but like we are at the limit of what could be considered concerning or not concerning, I guess. So we'll see what, these releases this week come out as. If they come out really, really bad, we might get some bearishness, because that might actually start to trigger that conversation of, do we need to get tighter? But if inflation numbers come in good, which is what I'm hoping, if inflation numbers come in good, this week is going to get insanely bullish. And this is mostly waiting on CPI on Wednesday. But if CPI comes in very, very good on Wednesday, or just even, as expected, right? It doesn't even have to come in very good, but if it comes in as expected or better on Wednesday, in my opinion, we crush all-time highs easily. I mean, we're right here anyway. 52.33-ish is around where all-time highs are. So we don't have, or 53.33, so less than 100 points away on ES. I mean, that's an easy move for CPI. I think, like I said, if the numbers come in close or good at all, we crush all-time highs pretty easily, and it's just tagging longs. And that's our plan. So our plan for this week, tomorrow especially, and then the rest of this week, is we're playing longs at all of these levels, especially above 5150. As long as we're above 5150, I'm just playing any reclamations of retests of any of these zones. So that's what we have. The green line, that's my ideal plan. Below 5230 and above 5220, I'm looking for longs in there. I'd like a test of 5220. We do have some singles right there at 5219, as well as that POC from whatever day that is, the May 6th. So we have that POC there. If we could retest 5220, maybe wick it, reclaim, I would be all aboard getting long. But also 5230, if we wicked that and reclaimed as well, I'd also be maybe willing to stab a lighter long at 5230 and a heavier long at 5220. And then, like I said, above 5250, if we can get above that, reclaim and hold, I'd stab some light longs if it looks good. That's the thing. Above 5250, if we don't test 5230 or 5220 first, I'm a little more hesitant to take longs at 5250 unless it looks really good. So that's our plan. That's what we're looking for. We're not super aggro either way. We're just going to be cautious of, there's a lot of news this week. So let's be aware of the news and just make sure we know where to be positioned and what is required to get in a position at those levels. So yeah, let's be safe this week, guys. Let's have a great week. Stay under leverage, overfunded, safe, and let's get some targets. So let's have a great one, guys.
I'll make the best banana bread so you can make money.
Half cup premium butter,
3 bananas,
2 eggs, your preference of chocolate chips, 2 teaspoons vanilla extract, 2 cups flour, 1 cup sugar, could sell for brown sugar to change it up.
1 teaspoon baking soda, half teaspoon salt, half teaspoon cinnamon. Bake for 45 minutes at 350 degrees. After you pull it out of the immediately cover it tin foil and leave set at room temperature overnight.
The tin foil locks in the moisture so that when you cut into it the next day you have a super moist and delicious bread.
And that's how you make the world's best banana bread. Eat banana.